What's up, everybody? Welcome to Talking Skritt, your weekly Guild Wars 2 news podcast. I am Age, your host, and we got a fantastic show for you this week. Welcome back to Guild Wars 2 Week 5. The balance patch has landed, and ArenaNet teams up with Alienware, and Marvel says they have the most ambitious crossover, and much more. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow host. He is moderator over at MMO Champion, host of Zero to Hero on this channel. He's just waiting for the new Living Story episode, just like the rest of us, but he will soldier onward until that glorious day. Say hello to Jim.
Hi, it helps if I unmute myself.
Yes.
You know what? I should have just blamed that on your technical issues. Damn it, missed opportunity.
But no one will ever know. No one. And she may not be Harrington, but I'm sure she has traveled greater distances. You can find her streaming over on Twitch, telling her thoughts on Twitter, or even her own website, kitthetraveler.com. Say hello to Kit.
Hello.
Yes.
Almost left my mic muted myself.
And I don't know if Dale left the bot on, but you can, there's the links to Kit's stuff, all the Twitch, Twitter, and her website.
Thanks.
Yay. Yeah, Dale makes all the intros. I just give him that pleasure.
Yeah, he's also very good with the puns. You gotta work up your game here.
Don't.
Yeah, no, I think we can live without that. I did hit record, guys. We're good. I balanced the audio in chat like for a good 10 minutes, so if you guys have complaints, it's chat's fault, not mine at this point. I asked multiple times. Here we go. And so this week we had a balance patch that dropped, and it changed a lot of things. So first off, like one of the more general things is that Dark Aura came in. So this is a new aura that reduces condition damage by, I believe, 20%, and I believe also reduces torment damage or duration. I forgot when it was, but do you guys think it's any good, or do you have anything about the any complaints about the balance patch whatsoever?
It reduces Condi damage by 20% and inflicts torment when struck on a 1-second cooldown. So it's similar to the burn splashed out by Fire Shield. But I like this, especially since Light Aura, it's similar but different. Light Aura is 10% reduced Condi duration applied to you, and you gain retail when struck. So they're similar but opposite in a way, which I think is good design choices. And I haven't run into it in PvP yet. I haven't hopped back into PvP after this patch, which I might, considering the Elementalist dagger changes. I might go back to dagger focus. But this looks like it'll be pretty cool. As far as I can tell, ease of access is Necros, Thieves, and Revenants, because Thieves, a lot of their smoke fields and stuff are shadow fields, right? Or dark fields, right?
Yeah, dark fields. Yeah, a lot of these have pretty much most.
Yeah,
smoke and dark field.
So that'll give you a whole bunch of access to Dark Aura. And isn't Condi damage kind of a big deal for Thieves?
Taking it, yes. So that's why I was very interested. I haven't really experimented too much with it just yet personally. But I mean, it could be beneficial. I don't know how long the aura lasts when I like Heartseeker through a smoke field or anything. But
well, okay, I keep forgetting smoke field is different than dark field.
Well, it's
so if you Heartseek, because if you leap finisher through a smoke field, it's stealth.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think I also get the dark aura.
I'd have to look at it.
I really haven't tested it. I've pretty much only rated this week, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't really messed with it either. I've been on my Guardian just trying to finish up story stuff.
Okay. How does Guardian feel to you? Have you tried the hammer?
Actually, no. I didn't realize it until now. I'm like looking at the list still, like I'm behind. The only thing I've actually done wise for the update was I bought my mom it's like that little package still they're doing where they release every week something. I got her that for Mother's Day, so it's like the only thing update wise for this week I've literally done. Besides that, just got into the game and play.
Okay.
Aside from the class stuff, the other thing that I like is the change to skills that destroy missiles now block instead, which I'm going to assume means they count as blocks, which is going to be specifically kind of ridiculous for Guardians because of all the on block effects that they have in their traits. So it's deflecting shot, refraction, sanctuary, shield of the Avenger, and zealot's defense. It's going to be pretty crazy considering all the like burn on block from that. It's
I was playing a bit of my burn stuff too.
I can just imagine in WVW you're actually just firing off deflecting shot into the middle of an enemy Zerg. You're probably going to destroy at least a few missiles with that going in, and if that triggers his blocks, you're going to be splashing out a lot of burn, I would think.
Yep.
Yeah. I kind of like the change. It also helps with balancing too, just in terms of not. It also helps in terms of gameplay too now, because for balancing you don't have should this destroy, should this block, blah blah blah, and in terms of gameplay, if you use a projectile and it gets blocked, not destroyed, or dodged. So it's
if this is all based off of the block code, that means unblockable can now go through these effects.
Exactly.
Good point.
So there's push and pull with this. That's going to be different.
Yeah. So with Guardian, you can block all the things now, but you don't have projectile destruction. And if such things are, if you have a projectile that's going to come at you and you try to block it, but it's unblockable, like I don't know, if I put Ibasi Venom on my Death's Judgment, kind of screwed.
No, I feel like I'm more of a meat shield than ever.
It's all in good fun.
It's kind of what Guardian was designed to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Now I want to play this hammer. I'm reading the hammer stuff, and now I want to log in.
Yeah.
Secretly behind this podcast, play with it.
That's why she didn't want the fun. That was the reason. I try. So in raid, I did a bit. I did Druid. I did Mirage. I did another. But I think Thief was the most interesting one just because of the new Daredevil stuff, and I felt like I lost a damage option just because the first line is more defense oriented, and ideally there's a trait that gives you vitality based on your power, but since I'm in full berserker, I can't stack more power and take off more vitality. So it's like, well, it's kind of a bit of a damage loss, but I don't know if the staff master change makes up for it. I mean, I haven't gone to World vs. World yet. I kind of want to go into PvP and just try out Daredevil, but I don't think, from my theory perspective, I don't think Dagger Pistol will be too great with the new steel, which is swipe. It's because like you do like funky things with steel at 1200 versus 600, but
I mean, to be honest, I kind of feel like with the mobility that Daredevil had access to, a 1200 range blink was also a little ridiculous.
But the way that the dodges work now, it's a lot. You're way more vulnerable than I've felt in a long time. Because if you go from PvE to PvP or World vs. World, there is a very significant change in terms of how you're supposed to dodge. So
that's fair. Yeah.
I mean, you could be right. I mean, I could be like still very elusive, but I just need more to practice the new one, the new dodges a bit more. But.
I mean, at the very least, now you have another unblockable effect. So
yes, I see. That's the thing. That's the trade-off, right? Reduce range, but you get unblockable. So I need to test to see if it's worth it. I guess. Druid felt okay in raid, I guess.
I kind of like the trade-offs they're kind of going here. Is like you go Daredevil, you lose the super long range steal. You go Druid, you have all these buffs and stuff, but let's hack 20% of your pet stats off.
Yeah, I like it. I personally play Druid as a healer most of the time, so it's not a big deal for me. But I guess for people who want to play it more power oriented, it's a problem. I understand that. Mirage, I don't know. Felt okay to me. But that's only in raid, so I think they did get nerfed in raid.
Yes.
Why
dear.
you look so sad or disappointed?
No. She came in here in the middle of the show to tell me a pun.
Yes, that's my girl. Go. Yes.
Kit supports you. So, yeah. Why do dogs float? Because they're good boys.
That's a good pun.
The spirit of Deo is alive and well in this podcast. Specifically, I'm going to go back to Druid because that's where I was before I got stopped by this.
Mm-hmm.
And all trains of thought stopped. Glyph of the Stars looks fantastic.
Actually, I actually tried that in raid. It was actually pretty good because we're doing the what was the new wing called? Anyway, the new wing with the Mystic Zomeros, and we're doing the twins, and there's this part where people can easily die for not paying attention or like don't have endurance, whatever. So I always pop that during those times just to make sure people don't die. It's really cool. Really like it. But no, you're not dying.
I saw that and I immediately thought of Slothosaur.
Yeah.
Because it's just like cleanse condies, no condies, healing. And it's just, okay, yeah, sure. Like literally negate one of Slothosaur's shake ability.
Yeah. So the trade-off for using it in Druid form is that the cast duration is almost as high as the Druid bar dissipating entirely. So you kind of have to like cancel it when you don't need it anymore.
Oh, so that's the like if you use in Celestial Avatar, it basically channels for the entirety of Celestial Avatar.
Yeah, or almost entirely. Like I would say at least 75%. So you have to kill it by like dodging or something.
You can just hit escape to cancel a channeled ability.
Yeah. I'm in the heat of it. Like I just dodge and it's like whatever. But it feels like a cool skill, but you want to channel it just enough to like get by and then like stop it. Get out of Celestial Avatar because you're playing it.
Well, I honestly think the skill is good enough to use outside of Celestial Avatar. Because what the Celestial Avatar just prevents downed health degeneration, right? That's just the only tack on, right?
I'm trying to let me double check that. I'm not sure.
Like, I'm right on it. In Celestial Avatar form, it heals, prevents downed allies from losing health while being revived, and grants boons at range. Okay, so non-CA is anti-Condi, and in CA it's more like down support.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, Slothazor would be good like when you're not in Celestial Avatar for sure.
Yeah.
Preventing the con. It might be actually good on
Just anybody that's any fight that's heavy Condi.
Matthias?
Oh yeah, for fire phase.
Well,
You could just stand in DPS and you wouldn't have to worry about getting set on fire
that's
for
true.
the channel, the duration of the channel.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, that's cool. Especially in the when you're in the second phase where it gets all huge and then just want to stand in DPS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of neat. Huh. Good one. But QD says don't like change the render yet another step further towards streamlining.
I'm waiting for both Kit and I asked what he meant, so I'm just waiting for a response on that one. And I'm not sure. Like, I honestly feel like everything that was changed with Druid here is more specialization than streamlining.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I guess so. It's more like pigeonholing into like this. You are healing and doing this, but it seems like everyone can do that. Like if you're playing Healer Tempest, you heal, do boons. If you play Druid, heal, do boons. If you play Revenant, heal. I don't know if you do boons. Like maybe protection.
Yeah, you do healing as a Revenant. It's I don't know if it's still mostly with the massive salvation trait line change this run. I don't know if it's a lot through regen, because previously it was through regen. But I mean, that's what support is in Guild Wars 2, is healing and boons. So if you're playing a support role, you heal and you do boons. So
yeah,
that's kind of the thing.
I think
they all still have their unique strengths within healing and doing boons. Like, I feel like Revenant is still sustained healing opposed to burst. Just, group up around tablet and the tablet just heals people. So
yeah, I really hope they don't remove Spirit. I really like the ring spirits. I haven't tried them ever since they came out. I was like, this is the best thing ever. But yeah, I understand having a little flavor in terms of the different supports that you play. That does bring an interesting question. But would you rather have different types of support that do healing in different ways and boons and give out boons in different ways, or would you rather have supports that excel in one area versus another? Because if you look at let's say Chronomancer before a lot of the changes, they've highly excelled in boon so much that other people, like other professions, didn't have the slot to enter in that. Not because they weren't good at it, it's just that Chronomancer did it better.
In a general sense, I'd say I'd prefer it. With a class system like Guild Wars 2, there is design space for every profession to be able to perform every role. You might have to stretch a little bit for something like Warrior to be a healer, but that could be introduced into the game. It's not there right now because you can't do the shout banner healing anymore, even though it was just really amounts of healing and it was a troll build. The problem with uniqueness is there comes a time where your uniqueness is either completely squashed by a mechanic and then you feel useless, or you suddenly become absolutely necessary for what needs to happen in a raid fight. So you become essential no matter what. So that was kind of the problem with Chrono, is that Chrono was just like, you have literally all of the uptime the entire raid needs. We don't need boon. Yeah, no one else can fill that slot because no one does it better than Chrono. And let me finish, QED, well, that's the problem, is uniqueness means, why do I bring say if we look between healers, why do I bring a Tempest or a Druid? They both do boons and heals. I can just pick one. So it becomes the question of, are we balancing a spec needs to be, needs to feel like a reason to bring it, or do we want to bring the player, not the class? Generally speaking, that's a fine line to tread. And for example, I'm going to pull from my World of Warcraft time. Divine Shield bubble, for people who played WoW, was originally a 12-second complete invulnerability to everything for a paladin.
What?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, 12 seconds, Age.
Yep.
Can they actually use skills, or do they have to channel that?
No, it's just instantaneous, off the global cooldown, cleanses everything. 12 seconds, you are invulnerable. Continue to do things.
Can I have that?
There was a change. Part of it is you attacked 50% slower while it was up, I believe.
Okay.
The trade-off, which doesn't matter because they moved from auto attack based stuff very early on in the game's development to abilities, and it just basically the attack speed reduction didn't matter. It got to a point where boss mechanics could be ignored by using Divine Shield, to the point where paladin tanks would be able to taunt, which forces a target to attack you for a brief period of time, as well as raising threat, but threat's not a mechanic we're dealing with here in Guild Wars 2, where you could bubble taunt, force a mechanic to hit you, do nothing, use a cancel macro, because you can right-click to cancel buffs in World of Warcraft, and you could just eat a hit as a paladin tank, and not just eat a hit as a paladin tank, you could eat a hit as a paladin, and then continue on as if it was nothing. And it got to a point where that unique mechanic that, paladins could bring to the table, the Blizzard devs just slowly started saying, this mechanic ignores bubble. This mechanic ignores bubble. This mechanic and this mechanic. And you know what? Bosses just ignore bubble, is what it felt like it ended up being. And that's tends to be the problem with uniqueness, is it has to be unique in a way that you want to bring that class, but it also can't be absolutely essential for that encounter that you need that mechanic.
Okay.
Because then you have to walk the fine line of, does class balance dictate raid balance, or does raid balance dictate class balance? So, and it's one of those things where defining the roles in Guild Wars 2, where we've got technically we have tanks in some encounters, but it's kind of weird. Mostly it's either support or DPS.
Yeah. Because
we were talking about Slothsaur earlier. You can just go full on like 2 supports and 8 DPS, because Slothsaur just kind of turns and picks someone randomly. You have to figure out, okay, support. So what do supports do? What is support in Guild Wars 2? It's boons and heals. Okay. That's support in Guild Wars 2.
Okay, I think I understand. So in terms of what I think everyone would like in general is just, you wouldn't mind necessarily just having heals and boons as a support type of build. You would just want a unique way of providing those that doesn't feel boring, right? So,
well, honestly, Revenant is a perfect example, because now, granted, I haven't really looked over the salvation line changes from this patch, but Revenant healing is, here is the tablet. I can move the tablet, but all of my healing is tied to the tablet. You have to stay near the tablet. It gives you the opportunity as a Revenant to be over here and have your healing happen over there. That's a unique delivery system. Tempest, a lot of their support and damage and boons are point blank AoE. That's their uniqueness, is they have to be in the middle of the area they want to be doing whatever in. Guardian tends to be a lot of ground target AoE, but it's not tied to a central point.
Mm-hmm.
But once they drop it, if the fight moves from that point, they become useless because the fight is leaving the area they're supporting.
Okay.
So there is there is uniqueness to how the support, and I'm not going to talk about Chrono because I've never been able to wrap my head around Mesmer as an entirety of a class. I played Mirage a little bit before it got mega nerfed, and I had some success primarily because QED just kind of, here, use this build for WW. It works great. And I'm like, yeah, it works great. I don't know what I'm doing, but it works great.
Yeah. Speaking of Warrior, Warrior did get a lot of significant changes. I did not personally try them out, but I heard some Warriors feel like it's doesn't feel as good, and I heard like some opposite things. So I'm not sure like what to think.
What
of the
things
Warrior.
are just not working? Like,
It
Well,
sound,
looking through it.
I, it sounds like the burst skills maybe or the
um,
banners.
QED was saying that there is a banner bug. Let me scroll back up. If you were performing any kind of action actively or passively and casting a banner while doing so, they disappeared right away and went on full cooldown. So the banner itself was getting eaten. And if you pick them up too fast sequentially, only the first one refreshes. Only the first one gets the cooldown refresh, the 60-second subtraction,
Okay.
but the other ones do not.
Wow.
So there's like a
But didn't they just recently fix banners?
They changed them.
Oh.
Okay. So maybe it's fixed now. We shall see. Ron says Warrior's great.
It's I tend to, I actually agree, purity of purpose. Like I know it's kind of a design buzz phrase, but okay, so for people who haven't read the patch notes, Berserkers lost access to core warrior bursts. They're gone. All you have is F1 for Berserk. That's it. You F1 for Berserk, your F1 flips over to your primal burst, and then you go from there. Previously, rage skills no longer provide adrenaline. They increase the duration of Berserk. I haven't looked at Headbutt. Oh no, 2 seconds in addition to previous effects. So I'm guessing Headbutt also still, does Headbutt still generate adrenaline?
Yes.
That kind of makes sense for it being an elite, is being able to instantaneously regenerate your rate, your adrenaline bar. That
Ooh.
I'm cool with that.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's pretty cool. Do you guys have any other comments about any of the professions?
No, not really. I'm still looking through it right now.
I need to go mess with Revenant and Salvation because
I was smacking a golem on with the hammer and stuff. So
yeah, I need to mess with the necro changes just because I feel like our Reaper is in a really cool spot that I can just play like this tanky thing that doesn't die. Just lasso people if they try to take point. But you don't use it for.
I'm assuming that's PvE stuff. QED is like you just headbutt things constantly to keep Berserk. I'm going to assume that a lot of the stuff for PvE Berserker now is just rotating rage skills to keep Berserk up constantly.
Oh man, that does sound fun.
Well, I kind of like the change because it changes from press all the buttons as fast as possible while Berserk, because you get all the stat buffs and everything, to watching your timer and spacing out your abilities. So skilled play directly increases your damage output because you stay in Berserk mode longer.
Yeah. Well, for me, like for QD, for me, like I want to see like if I can up Berserk time. So trying to, that just sounds fun for me. I know it may not sound fun in general, but I don't know, personal preference. So there are other patch note stuff. So we have SPVP map changes. So as you guys may have heard from last week, Eternal Coliseum got a change where they added more shrubbery and layers of construction in order to allow for line of sight possibilities type of deal. And in Jin's domain, they actually prevented spawn camping, which just never fun, for anyone.
Yeah.
So there are actually some bugs here. So for Jin's domain, fix the bug that prevented the skill granted by capturing the lamp from matching the skill displayed on objective. Add a wall to further separate the team spawn points. And Eternal Coliseum added a number of obstacles around break line of sight and jump areas. Additionally, half of the map is more identifiable. Each half of the map is more identifiable. English is hard. New Heart of the Mist added a small dueling area and a few practice golems. Champions Rest.
Champions Rest being the VIP area, I think. So, on that change.
I mean, yeah. Practice golems are always nice because like they're always crowded in case you want to try something. I don't like the area to try it, to be honest. I like the old area just because there's more room to work with versus like you can go off the edge. And for World vs. World, players can no longer contest capture points while mounted on a war claw.
That's new.
That's good. That's good in my opinion. I don't know why it wasn't like that before, because literally no one gets off those goddamn mounts.
I don't. I got mine and all I did was just finish school.
Yeah.
I regret nothing. The Shandaran Hills and the Ascalonian Hills capture points have been extended upwards to cover the stairs leading down to the capture point area. So this means if you come in on Warclaw and you're in Hills, you will not prevent the capture point. If you're standing at the top of the stairs laughing on your Warclaw, you now have to dismount to prevent the capture.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, in other World versus World news, we do have a week-long bonus. It is Downstate Week. Started on April 26th, and it will end on May 3rd. So basically, if you get killed, you get dead. There is no downstate. And
just the way you said that. If you get, did you know that people die if they are killed?
Yeah, well, there you go. Get killed, you get dead. That's how it is.
That's how it goes.
You earn an additional 25% reward track progression and an additional 100% world experience. You also gain 50% magic find. I believe this is stackable on anything else you have, like boosters, etc., etc. So, if you don't have Warclaw, now's a good time to get it. If you want that gift of battle, now's a good time to get it.
Or if you're,
easy.
If you're still trying to pick up your Warclaw, like, I mean,
really?
Yeah, I really haven't been. I haven't had the time to play lately.
Wow, pleb.
I spend most of my time in PvE and PvP. WW is not. I think I'm still sub rank 100.
I just it's like easy achievement points for me. So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, just doing like a reset weekend. That's what most of my friends did, and they got it done. Just go then.
I spent like 2 sessions, one with Malthanis for the first half, and the second half I just ran around Waroswold. Got it. It's good times, yo. In other news, we have Welcome Back to Guild Wars 2 Week 5. Now, since this is like Week 5 and there's only 5 episodes in this Living World season so far, you can get the recent release just by logging on to any of your characters. That is the All or Nothing, I believe it was called. So you must fully load onto a map, by the way, not just characters left. And your free item in the Jump Store is 5 transmutation charges, 1 per account. It's located in the Jump Store. Just go to promo tab, and you'll see it right there for 0 gems. Just click it. It's tough. I don't really need transmutation charges, but I'll take free stuff.
Yep. WW and PvP means that you don't need transmutation charges. That's just how it runs.
I mean, and most of the time people run around looking like they're scrubs so that you can, get confused if they're a new player or not if you don't look at their rank.
Well, or if you just see a red name and then you just target them and...
Yeah.
They're all scrubs to me. Let's go.
Gee.
Let's go.
Should be on was it Aaron's champion Twitter, then put yourself up there. You're a champion then.
Oh, that Twitter is just magic.
Isn't it though?
Yeah. He took, for those who don't know, Aaron, who usually comes here every now and then, he made his own separate Twitter account for like picking up people's fashion wars.
Champions of Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, so it's his little hobby extrapolated onto another Twitter account. There you go. Let's move on to a little bit of sad news. Not entirely sad, but still sad. Maclaine Diemer is leaving ArenaNet as a full-time composer. So, for those who don't know, he has been the composer and music director for ArenaNet since 2010. So,
he also addressed more confirmation about what's going on Reddit. I don't know if you have that post or not, but you might want to check on there. He replied and gave more details as to why.
Okay.
So I can get it for you if you don't have.
That would be awesome. I will continue reading these notes. So, basically in the Twitter thread, he's talked about the studio changed my life and made my dreams come true. Silver lining, however, is that the current plan is to continue to write music for the game as much as possible going forward, just not on a full-time basis. I have some other exciting things in the works that I'll be able to talk about soon. So that's pretty cool.
It should be the first top post of his thing replying to the message.
Okay. So let's see. So he wanted to clarify some things. So a studio having a full-time composer or multiple composers is a luxury that is very rare throughout the game industry. There are probably less than a dozen studios worldwide in that situation. My relationship with the studio is as strong as ever, and I'll still be contributing music to the game going forward. But the amount of time I spend working on it will be compressed into shorter periods rather than spreading it out on a full-time basis like it has been. I actually expect very little to change, or at least feel all that different, which makes sense actually, because if you look at all the music that comes into all the new music that comes into the game, it's usually for Living World, if anything, or an expansion.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need a composer full time. You kind of just want the music when as is, but it's kind of nice because Maclaine will still work for ArenaNet in terms of making music for Living World and for expansions or any new festivals that come along, probably. So it's an interesting thing to go through, and he has other projects in the works too, which I'm kind of excited to hear about. So maybe he's working on other games, maybe he's doing his own album or composition or something like that. So yeah, it's good for him.
Yep.
And I do need another You're Not This Night, the one he made for Bugging the System. I need something like that for War Eternal, just to get me hype. Yeah. So, any other thoughts on that?
No, I just hope that he continues to work with ArenaNet going
I was
forward.
gonna say, yeah. It sounds like he's still gonna be somewhat about. It's just not full time. So
Yeah, I just his composing is fantastic, and I hope that everything else he works on turns out really good.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, Lena Rain is kind of like on her own tangent. So maybe Maclaine's doing kind of the same thing.
most likely.
Yeah. Be kind of neat. Can we see? Alright, so next up we have the Alienware and Arena and ArenaNet contest.
Another contest that EU people can't enter. I mean, I'm just saying, at some point you gotta like value both players, NA and EU, and you can't just keep pushing it off and be like, at some point we'll get to you guys. Okay, whatever you say.
So if you couldn't
Like,
tell, this contest is pretty much continental US only. Pretty much similar to the Kung Fu Tiap, if you remember that one. And the rewards are a dragon outfit, as you can see on the right there, next to the promotional poster. It is US only, and there are $25 in Dell rewards, which is also US only. Now,
oh, I know the legal reasons. It's still poor excuses because they can go around it. Plenty of game companies have, and there's ways of doing about it. So
yeah, so there's also mini eggs as well, but this is kind of the thing I want to get into now. As a person who is very limited in terms of contests, is where I live. Um, it I understand why it's not for me, but it's gonna be a mess again. We're just talking about the U.S. bit, right? There have been other problems as well with
it's not
this
even that. It's
contest.
like there's problems also with email confirmations I've been seeing. Like there's been problems since even the Beetle, like the car thing that they were doing. A lot of people still having confirmation or emails about that. So
yeah, it seems like okay. So let's start with the U.S. bit first. So given that some of these are digital rewards, I feel like digital rewards you can get around as much.
yeah.
So why do you think that they're US only?
The dragon outfits are already out.
Yeah.
You can't get them anymore, even if you're US. They have a limit. They had a cap on digital rewards for a free entry.
Mm-hmm.
And QED's right. If something is free, then you're the product, not the person being serviced.
Yeah. So in this,
you have to sign up for Alienware's thing, and then they have your information. Then they sell your information. Then you get more emails and spam shit, and you have to unsubscribe from it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So keep in mind, yeah, this is pretty similar to the Kung Fu Tiap. If you guys have heard about this before, so you have to sign up to Alienware Arena, I believe it was called. And I think there was another one, but I'm not gonna enter it. I can't enter it anyway.
I'm not signing up for it because I don't want my shit being spammed. So
there you go.
I'm good. They should just, in my opinion, they should stick with like in-game items rather than these like extravagant giveaways that like half the people can't even get, or because of country restrictions.
Yeah, and it's kind of surprising too, just because EU is pretty strong in the Guild Wars as a like part
Oh
of the
yeah.
Guild Wars 2 community.
Oh yeah, and they're like, not to be dogging on NA because I am from NA, but they're also very big on the Twitch stream too. Like they're more, I don't know, popular streamers.
Yeah, so it's an unfortunate scenario for sure. I really hope that they can. I understand it might be a little harder. I actually don't know the laws for EU's contests. If someone could, oh, that'd be awesome. Like, tweet at me or something. But yeah, it'd be nice if it could open up a little bit more. Definitely.
Well, they stated in Twitter that at some point there will be an EU thing, so stay tuned. That was like under one of the replies when EU people were asking.
Okay, so maybe maybe next week or the week after they can do that. Because like
I'd hope so.
because like I've played a majority of my half of my Guild Wars 1 time was playing with EU people. So like,
oh yeah,
the community is very strong. Um. So let's also talk about the issues that they have with connecting like all these systems together and having delays and having uh technical issues. That now for me, it's like, okay, if you do it one time and you kind of like see this problem, it's like you're gonna make sure it doesn't happen again, right? But it
exactly.
sounds like it's happening again. So what's going on here? What do you
The
think?
only problem with that is they only control half the equation.
Yeah, exactly that too.
So they can't control because this is Alienware's site that you have to register on.
Mm-hmm.
They can't control the how and the when and the format of what Alienware is giving them. So they have to take whatever Alienware gives them, whenever Alienware gives them it, in whatever format, then they have to read into their system in order to send out the rewards in game.
Yeah. Okay. So for me personally, what I would be doing is like after the Kung Fu TF is like that was a disaster
Yes.
for me.
That was a
Like
hot
I'd
mess.
be like, okay, I need to make sure that if we do another promotion with another company, that my customers will be happy that they are coming over to this other consumer that they may not have heard about, or they don't have no interest in whatsoever, just so they can get stuff for our side. We have to make sure the process is good and everything's okay. So for me, I'll be going over to wherever that they're going to sign up and give info, make sure no,
It's
it's a
basically
good
both sides
experience.
for sure. And I'm gonna say market is also needs to be part of the blame. Like whoever is like signing up for these companies and applying the companies or whatever to do these promotional things, because they never seem to think like the bubble tea experience or the car experience. Like it seems to be a repeat over and over and over. And you can blame the other company as well and be
Yeah,
like, oh, well, they have to rely on them. But at the same time, you also have to put the blame on whoever is leading that like okay to put into this. Like someone had to approve this. Like
yeah,
someone had to sit down and look at this. And if they didn't and they just schemed through it, like do you really care about your community then, or your game product and what
yeah,
you're advertising out of your game?
yeah. Similar. No thanks, go ahead.
I just it really it's a mess. Like that's the only problem, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no control. I think Mafongo brought up a good point though, is that they're getting approached by companies possibly doing these cross promotions. So I don't necessarily know what the marketing is back and forth on stuff like this. But I mean, Kit has a good point in that, if you like, you both have a good point in that, we had problems first, and then if we're going to do this again, we have to make sure that, everything rolls out relatively smoothly. And honestly, I look at this stuff and it's just like, here's a preview for, here's a limited access outfit. They design like that's the thing that's kind of killing me here, is that you have limited access codes to an outfit. Outfits were designed to be able to be created
Yep.
far faster than anything else, than a full armor set, because you don't have to worry about clipping, which is still
Mm-hmm.
a little laughable with some of the clipping that you get with models that were in the game at the beginning, but I digress. I feel like the because clipping thing was more just a thing that, whoever said it first is probably regretting saying it to this day. But uh, an outfit's not a great reward, especially if you're saying, oh, you have to act now, it's limited. It's a digital product. How can
Yep.
it be limited?
Yeah, because that's like, look at the shirts. Like,
It's by the way, this outfit it has existed way before this contest. So it's been made before. So they gave it away at PAX West, I believe, last year.
Mm.
They've probably had a few contests as well.
So then it's not really limited. So that gives me more reasons not to sign up for this beautiful contest that they're doing.
Yeah. That and honestly, like looking at the Alienware Arena, like it's a glorified Dell sales site.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then at this point, I was looking at the page. If I were to sign up for it, the only thing I'm getting is 25%, like an arena point and an Alienware Arena Points booster pack. How do I get arena points? Why do I need them? What can I use them for?
Right.
And this is
I can't figure this out unless I sign up. So I don't know what I'm getting unless I'm like, oh yeah, sure, give it to me. Like I have to agree to it before it can really, like I can really understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, and I'm not blaming this on ArenaNet. This is Alienware because it's their website that it directs you to that doesn't give you any information. This is not on ArenaNet. But I sit here and I'm just like, why? Okay. Like it's not a well designed contest from the standpoint of Alienware. Like they're not even a contest, a sign up, a giveaway. It's not good from their side of things. They did not present themselves very well going into this.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess to conclude, I think everyone's in agreement that this was a little bit of a fiasco. I feel like less of an issue than the Kung Fu Tia, but still an issue. And
overall, it's a flop. Still,
it's a flop.
Because okay. I think it's a flop personally until you can include your whole community of NA and EU, and there's many ways of doing it and checking the laws or whatever you got to do to make it legal. Then I don't know. I just think it's not right. Other than that, it's like, again, someone had to be looking at this and be like, approved, not approved. Like, did you sign up personally to see how this layout sets up? Like, you know, did you go to the website? Did you sign up and be like, okay, this is what the customer is going to see? This is what the customer, like, what is going on?
Yeah, I agree. I'm a person who, like, cares about the customer's experience. So it's kind of disappointing to hear about like designs off to figure out things like that.
And it's bad enough that we have to sign up for, just like recently for that purple mask. Like we had to re-sign up and like I had to recheck mark newsletter and all this other stuff to re-spam my mail again just to get a damn mask. Like, and now we got this, and they're like wanting us to sign up and check our emails. Well, here's some more spam. Like, no, I don't want to fill my mailbox with more fucking spam. Thank you.
But I would say the glowing mask bit was just because of the recent GDPR laws that came in.
Yeah.
So they wanted people to opt in again, obviously. So that was a good way to do it.
At least I included EU though. That's what I'm saying. They can't sit here and say that they can't do certain things. Literally, that's a simple item.
Well, to be
NA and EU.
But the thing is, that's just them.
Yeah.
So with this thing, it might be more on Alienware's side of things that they can't do this.
That's true. That's true.
So since ArenaNet's only controlling half of this contest, that might be the thing that's flubbing things up for EU, which it sucks, but if they had full control over the sign up, then I'd say, why are you guys not, doing the due diligence to get around to navigate the waters of EU law? But like, they don't have full control over this, so I can't fault them for that.
All right, let's brighten it up a little bit. Let's brighten up.
Yeah, let's do it.
Can we talk about this poster though? Talk about this poster.
Endgame poster.
So is. At first,
did you see on Facebook they did like a digital art one where
that was the 3D
awesome.
one?
Yeah, it looks really cool.
That was pretty sweet. But yeah, I'm just at first I'm like, This looks really familiar. Where have I seen this before? And then I'm like, oh yeah, Endgame.
I like it. That is smart marketing. Like,
Yeah,
planning
that's
it just
solid.
right and everything. Like, very good.
Yeah, especially like since quite a few people at ArenaNet are excited for Endgame. That so.
Yeah, that's good.
The corgi saved the day. What corgi? You mean that little fox dog thing? I don't even know.
Oh wait, there's a corgi.
The fox.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I was like looking. I was like, "There's a corgi in there."
Nice.
Corgis always save the day, even if you don't see them. They're always.
Oh, okay, that's true.
Yeah. Kendra says their marketing's gotten so much better. How do you guys feel about marketing?
I agree.
Like,
Just
like
the contest stuff, no. But marketing, yes.
like everything around the game itself, yes.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, like they've done loads better with.
They're getting better at communicating with people on Twitter as well. Even if the people are being douchey or not, they're like doing better.
I mean, honestly, communicate if people are being jerks in the middle of like to a Twitter thread, I just don't respond to them.
Exactly.
And that's
unfortunate.
Yes, Red Wolf is right. Corgis are more topical with the show usually.
This is fair. All right,
but yeah, like the poster's solid, the marketing's solid for around the game. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it gets me very hyped. But also nervous because I'm just like,
yeah,
what's going to happen?
Trailer. Me and Trailer Arena. Come on. Maybe next week actually, because I think we're gonna get the episode next month. But
yeah, I thought it'd be.
When we're gonna get the trailer. Anywho, let's move on to the gem store, and thank you, Adolphi, for checking out all the things so that you can make wise decisions when purchasing products. First up,
an outfit for you to spend your money on if you are a veteran of Guild Wars 1, because nostalgia.
I bought the dervish one.
I'm sorry, I just learned that butter can explode from a coworker. I'll get the full story from her on Monday. I'm not going to ask over text for that because facial expressions are going to be necessary, and I need to see if there are butter burns involved. But yes, ritualist outfit. If you liked factions, go for it.
Yeah.
All right. So first up
is the staff is cool, but I don't really care for the outfit, only because I like the super tatted out ritualist outfit. I don't know what it's called, but I like that armor over this one. But it's cool if you want that nostalgia feeling, I guess.
Yeah. So this is part of the rituals pack, just 1,700 gems. So it comes up with the ritual outfit and the ritualist staff skin, total makeover kit, Alonian adversaries dye package, and 5 black lion statuettes. This is the staff that you guys can see right now. And
I will say the dye though is meh.
Yeah, here's the outfit, the dye channels.
Same dye. So I
forgot which outfit this was in OG Guild Wars.
I think you can just type in ritualist and then it comes up with all the armor.
I think it's like one of the first armor sets you can get.
I think so.
It's not like the super starter one, but I think it's QED. We're going to get to that, but I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. But if you are a hardcore ritualist from Guild Wars 1, you probably already bought this. So, and if you are a Guild Wars 2 player,
Luxon.
I want to say it was Luxon. I wasn't sure.
Because it's right here on this little. Hang on, let me link it.
Yeah, I wanted to say Luxon because I think I wore Luxon. My ritualist.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Wait.
Because if not, there's all the other armors.
Yeah, if you guys enjoy it.
I mean, they got me with the monk outfit because I dropped the money on the monk.
Right, and Aegis said
instantaneously.
One, so there you go. I mean, if you're into it, just get it. And then we had the Gwen outfit. So
Yeah. Oh, did I ever get that?
Probably not.
Probably haven't. I'm asking this question. I probably haven't.
Yep.
But yeah, there you go, guys. They're going through all the.
I'd be down if they brought in like Underworld armor or Fisher Woe armor or like some of the weird odd sets from back then. That'd be cool.
Need obsidian armor. Feel good. Because I never got it in Guild Wars. I really should go back and. Anyway. A long haul.
Yeah.
So we also have the mounts pack over here. So this also came with various different
Mount pack?
Isn't this supposed to be with the drop thing? I think these come with the drop thing.
Just gonna make sure real quick the name because I can't remember what it was called. So the War Eternal Supply Drop Requisition. This comes with the Exotic Breeds Mount Select license. So I'm just showing you all the different mounts that you can get with this.
Barbarian bunny looking thing looks weird. No ears.
Oh, it's a badger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I was like, where the heck is his ears?
A giant jumping badger.
I know
Which is terrifying if you know anything about badgers.
Yeah, no, they are crazy assholes.
So we just want to show off all the mounts before we get to this bad boy right here. The War Eternal Supply Drop Requisition. Now what this is, first of all, it's 2,400 gems, and when you purchase this, the Black Lion Trading Company will send you a package of valuable items each week. The first supply drop will arrive as soon as you purchase a requisition, and others will be delivered every Tuesday through May 14th. Oh, and if you buy it later on, you will get all of the items that you missed in the past weeks, and then you'll get the next week.
But also note that if you do buy it later on, it's going to be higher in gems. It's going to be 3K.
That is correct. So right now, I just want to list off the weeks real quick. So right now, April 23rd till the 29th, 30th before the reset time, it's 2,400 gems, so that's a 20% discount. The week of April 30th, it'll be 2,550 gems, which is 15%. The week of May 7th, it is 2,700 gems, which is 10%. And May 14th, it is 3,000 gems. Notice that is the flat price. As you can see in the picture, you can see all the items that you get each week. So okay, so first of all, I want your first impressions of what you thought when you saw this, and do you think it is worth getting?
It's worth getting.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it from my mom. I don't care for it, but I got it from my mom as like a Mother's Day gift since it's going to be like released slowly all through May. So
I think it's, yeah, if you like some of the mounts, like honestly, the week one, it is a choosy license and a rando license. That's 1,600 gems value right there. That is, and then you get, what is it? And then the outfit voucher, the Onyx and Gold weapon choice, which I think are the ones that they
and the branded weapons at the end look pretty cool. I don't know if you see it on Dolphy or if you have the pictures, but they look actually pretty badass. So
you've got the Black Lion backpack and glider voucher. Like I wanted to pick up the Legion jetpack. That's 700 gems right there. So if you buy it right now, and by the end of it, that's easily, like, that's just between the choosy mount license, the rando mount license, and the Black Lion backpack and glider voucher. That's 2,300 gems worth of stuff.
Yeah, and Black Lion keys alone just for 5 is 450, I think, or whatever for gems. So and the total of gems that you have to spend to get the whole package is worth it because you get a lot more out of the deal. So
so I kind of did rough math in my head, and I think the first week definitely, if you buy it now, like before Tuesday reset, when this resets, it is worth it. and later on, like Bjorn said, it depends. I haven't worked out the math that far, but basically for everything that you're getting, like all the vital things, and so in my opinion, that is the mount licenses, Black Lion keys, the weapons that you get. I think it's worth it right now. So
it's also a nice package. Say if you're like a new player, like, and you just want a little bit of everything, or check out a little bit of everything. You get an outfit, you're getting a mount skin, you're getting some dye, you're getting some weapon skins. So
that's very true. Yeah.
An age, you'd be able to get the Gwen outfit.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, it's a choosy one, yeah.
Yeah, because there's also two guaranteed. There are 2 wardrobe unlocks in there too, so more stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, for each their own.
Now, I don't know if they're going to keep doing this, but if they do, I'd be down for it, because as long as they're doing this where they're giving the like a little bit of everything, I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
So also we have returning this week, we have the Dragon Kama skin, we have the Amethyst Aegis skin, Hourglass skin. All those 3 are 20% off. We have the Raiment of the Lich, which is 35% off. We have the Monk's Outfit, 35% off. There's like Dual Axe skin, 20% off. Talk Scepter skin, 20% off, and the Armistice Bastion Pass. So that is the lounge pass that you can get, so you can really access banks, merchants, crafting sites.
Wait, how much is that one off?
1,000. No, it's
yeah,
it's base price 1,000 gems.
Okay.
That's the Armistice Armistice Bastion is the WW one, right?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So I personally like the Mistlock Sanctuary one.
Honestly, like I kind of agree with Mofongo. I kind of wish that like they would do one of these requisition packs for every living story drop.
Agreed.
Because I think it would generate a ton of revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question is, since this ends May 30th, I believe it was, May 20th, sorry. That's the week 4 one. Is this like a prelude? Does this have any indication of when the episode's coming out?
Maybe. Could be like after the goodies are passed out.
Maybe.
Yeah. Kind of hoping not. But you never know. Because I'm trying to think of any other promotional things to do in between now and then. So all I got is trailer.
Well, how many weeks are they in for the welcome back thing? I have a feeling it'll probably be almost after that. So aren't they on like the last week or 2 weeks left?
This is the last week.
So
yeah. So we have the only thing I could think of is a legendary teaser. We have the actual trailer for the episode itself. I can't think of anything. Maybe like a new fractal array. I don't know. Feel for that right now.
Yeah, and they did talk about also cooking and jewel crafting and apparently getting a touch. So maybe that'll be previewed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a few things that they can do, but I don't know if it'll extend all the way to make. But hopefully not. The newsletter and the iStuff points 30th.
Yeah, I have a feeling it won't be until either the end of the month or like the start of June.
Okay. By the way, if you guys want your free purple glowing eyes, sign up to the newsletter. Just go log in at guildwars2.com.
Yeah, you got like 2 days, 3 days, because it's the 29th when it ends or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So opt in there. Last up, we have Community Corner, and we have the UGO 5v5 Core PvP Tournament brought to you by Unity Gaming Organization and Jebro. So you can watch that over at twitch.tv/JebroUnity. It is on May 5th at 2 p.m. GMT. Use the conversion for your time. So 2 p.m. GMT, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. BST, 4 p.m. C. So it's a core build only, 5-5 conquest, double elim tournament. Revenant will be playable, but without the specializations of Herald and Renegade. No class stacking allowed. Rangers are only allowed to use core pets only, no hot or POF pets. First place gets 65% of the cash prize pool. Second place gets 35% of the cash prize pool, and third place gets 500 gold.
This has the potential to be really interesting because one of the things we didn't talk about with Revenant in the patch notes was the buff to giving Revenants an F2 ability without an elite spec.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be very interesting. That's the first thing that came into my head last week. By the way, if you are on NA, you can play in this tournament, but you have to like have an EU account, obviously. So,
yeah. You just have to have the account to be in the tournament.
Pretty much, yeah. So we have a lot of fun, especially with the balance patch that happened. People are testing out changes, things like that.
I'm definitely going to see if I can watch at least some of this.
There you go.
It should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, we'll probably bring it up next week as well, since that'll be the.
GAD's talking about World Boss Rush. Is that what do you mean by that? Is that another event coming up? I saw something on Reddit about it, but I don't know.
Oh. If there was, blame Dale. He knows this week. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. So, Jim, where can I find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MalfanusMMO. You can also find me live on twitch.tv/MAADrealms. That's 2 A's in the MAAD. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time for bi-weekly Vote to Kick, which we have a new episode coming up this Wednesday. I don't have a guest lined up yet or a topic. But, you know, you can go to YouTube and watch me and Arlie talk about God, I had this whole outro thing planned. I don't know what the topic was, but me and Arlie debated something. So, remasters, video game remasters. Got it. Mine like a steel trap that's rusted. Hope to catch you on Wednesdays, and talk to you later. Bye.
There you go. All right. And Kit, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Twitch at Kit the Traveler, and on my website, kitthetraveler.com. I do every other weekend Kit the Traveler events in the honor and basically community spirit of Nicholas the Traveler from Guild Wars 1. So if you're into getting some free goodies, make sure to check out kitthetraveler.com website. Every once in a while, see if there's an event going on. Normally it's on the weekends, and get some rewards. Other than that, I stream here and there right now while everything is getting sorted out. So,
all right, cool. And you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Age Night Road. I did not stream yesterday because I went out after work for drinks and stuff, and I was very. Let's not go past that. So yeah, and I was prepping for show today, so I couldn't stream this morning, but I might stream this evening if I feel good. I'm not sure what I'll stream. Maybe I'll do some Guild Wars. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Also, if you enjoyed the show, you can always find it here on Twitch. We can always stream every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And if you can't catch the show live, always check out our YouTube at youtube.com/MAADrealms. We put up the show every Sunday at noon Eastern, which is 9 a.m. Pacific. Am I doing that right? Yeah. Time conversion.
yeah, tell me about it. That's why I asked you multiple times.
I know. I used to be so good at it. Also, if you would like, we have our social media down below. We have Twitter at Talking Skritt and at MAADrealms. We have a bunch of things in the works. We can't talk about everything just yet, but keep looking in the coming months. We also have a website, MAADrealms.com. If you miss anything and you just want everything in one area, we also put the audio for this episode, for Talking Skritt episodes, up on the site too. So if you guys want the audio, you can download it and go in the car and listen to us ramble. That's it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So for everyone here, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye, guys.